Hello, welcome back to my Flosstube channel. My name is Phoebe. This is Moonshine Stitchery, and this is a channel about cross stitch. Occasionally I've talked about some other things like crochet, some other interests, but primarily I just talk about cross stitch. It is my love. I do it every day that I can. It just really brings me a lot of peace and meditation and comfort. So in my updates, I have one every other week for you. I share everything that I've been stitching on in the last 2 weeks, and then things that I want to be stitching on, you know, patterns that I may have purchased and have plans to stitch, different things like that. And then I talk a little bit about books at the end, and I just have a little tiny bit of book talk today. So that's the organization of what we're going to chat about today. I hope you've been having so much stitchy time. I have been watching so much Flosstube. There is so much awesome content out there right now. My feeds are filled with videos for me to catch up with all of you who are filming content, and it just makes me really happy to be a part of this community. So I don't have any finishes this time, but I do have a big basket full of WIPS. And there's a couple starts in there, but I do actually have a basket this time, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So I've been carrying around this big basket of WIPS this week. And usually I'll just have one WIP out for the day, and then when I'm done working on it, I set it in a specific spot so that I have everything in one place when I'm ready to go film. But this week I've been toting around this basket because I joined the most recent game that Jessie Marie Does Stuff started. It is a game where you pick a certain number of WIPs, you assign them all a number, or in this case a person, to the TV show Big Brother, which if I had to pick like my 3 all-time favorite reality TV shows, which I watch a lot of reality TV, that's just the thing I do. I love Big Brother, I love Dancing with the Stars, and I love The Challenge, which is an MTV show that's been on for a really, really long time. So basically I like competition shows. But anyway, so she started this new game. I won't explain the whole game to you. You can go watch her video for that, but this is the first time that I've joined up with one of her kind of Sal games. And I just couldn't resist because I was going to be watching every single episode anyway. My brother and I, we watch together every week, and there's 3 episodes a week. So this is, if you're familiar with the Great British Baking Show game that she did, where you stitch a certain number of stitches for whatever person wins the competitions and then gets kicked off that week, that's similar to this. It's just there's a lot more because there's a lot more competitions and there's a lot more things involved. So I have definitely tailored it to fit my, the ability I have to stitch each day, things like that. But for the most part, I'm following along with what she's suggesting. So go check out that video if you're interested, if you already watched that show. What I did is I had already, like sometime in the last couple weeks, I had looked through my WIP journals and found it was like 15 or 16 projects that I hadn't stitched on at all yet in 2025. So I already had a list of them. So then when she suggested this, it was really fortuitous because there were 17 people cast in the like initial cast of Big Brother this season. So it fit up almost perfectly with her game, how many projects that I had been thinking in the back of my mind, like I really need to get that out and put some stitches on this year, or decide if I wanted to, you know, UFO it, which means unfinished objects. If this is your first time coming upon one of my stitchy videos, I'm gonna use a few acronyms and I will try my best to remember to define what it is I'm talking about. So I have all these WIPs to share with you. I didn't stitch on all of them because not every person in the cast has actually like done anything they haven't won anything or got kicked out or anything like that, but I'm still gonna show you all of the 16 projects that I pulled for this. So that will be part of what I share with you today. So I will start with my 2 starts, but hopefully you've been able to see on the screen. I did put up one of the graphics that Jessie Marie made for the event so you could kind of see her target for how many stitches to get in for different things. That'll give you kind of an idea of like what I'm aiming for. But when I said I'm tailoring it to myself, generally I don't have time to do more than 100 stitches on any specific project. I guess I just don't really have that much stitchy time per day. So that's fine. I think if you're gonna join in a SAL or a game, it will be overwhelming unless you make it your own, you know? So let's start with new starts, and then I will talk about the WIPS that I did before, that I worked on before I got into the game, and then the rest of my stitching basically will be about this game. So my first new start, this one was not at all planned. So I'm gonna mention a bunch of Flosstube channels today, and I will put them all in the description bar below, but I follow Adelaide Stitches, and she started a Halloween pattern from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I think it was called the Hollow something. I'm gonna put up on the screen. This is the pattern that she was starting with her Facebook group, and she was talking about finding like the perfect orange fabric for it. And I had just launched Edgar's Trio, which is a Halloween dark gray, purple, and then orange, and it's inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. So this is the Sphinx, then we also have the Telltale Heart, and we have the Raven. So she started that Halloween project, and I have one Autumn Lane Stitchery. I have a number of their patterns, but I have one on the go, which honestly hasn't got that much work done on it, but I really wanted to start this one with her, so I went ahead and kitted it up, and I'm stitching it on the Sphinx. This is from my brand, Moonshine Stitchery. This is 18 count. I do have 2 sets of that trio available on the website right now in 18 count if you would like some Halloween fabric. This is a piece that I kept for myself that's a little bit bigger. The trio includes a cut each of the purple, orange, and black. And each one is about 8.5 by 13.5, or it's 9.5 by 13.5. So more for like your Halloween pillows or your Halloween ornaments, that kind of size. But it just so happened that I needed something a little bit bigger to start this project with Adelaide. So here is my start on it. And so as you can see, so far I've just been working in the black. And I am doing 2 strands over one on this 18 count, which is really unusual for me, but I wanted it to just like really pop out from the fabric. So I am going heavy with the floss, but it's gonna be really fun. I just wanted it to really pop. So that is my first start, totally unplanned, but I was watching her video, and I just had to start it with her. So that is start number 1. My next start is this one from With Thy Needle and Thread, Coffee First. This is a gift for my friend who is not a stitcher and won't be watching this video, so I'm just gonna go ahead and share with you here as I go. This is gonna stitch up really quick. I got this at Country Sampler when I was out there visiting Heidi, and as you can see, I have converted the pattern because my friend Stacy, she loves pink and she has red hair. So, you know, really, I don't have all that much left to do. You got to put in that giant coffee cup down here. But so she loves coffee. She like loves it. It's in her top 3 favorite things of life. So let's see. There's not really all that much left to do. So that's exciting. This is a piece of Moonshine Stitchery fabric. It was a remnant from after I was done stitching. Oh, it was my Americana sailboat. After I framed that, I had a remnant here, and I thought this would look fun with the pinks. So this is just a 40 count. So I'm using all of the called for except for the blues. I turned all into pinks, and you don't need that needle right there. But I'm gonna leave this in my whip basket per se, and get this finished up so I'm ready to send this to her for her birthday in October. So I just think it is so cute, and I love that she's sitting in a giant coffee cup, but also look at her coffee cup. Like, this is pretty accurate compared to the size of her bosoms. The coffee cup, like, yes. So yeah, that's really cute. It's on 10 count. It's on 10 count. It's on 40 count. I'm using the called for flosses. Oh, I didn't say the Autumn Lane Stitchery piece. That is with the call for DMCs. And so there is my second start. So right after my last video, I got out my hometown sal from Teresa Kogut because I had some catch-up work to do. And I didn't catch up entirely to where she's at. I did catch up 1 full month. And so this month is already out right here. And then so that'll be August, September, and then we'll have 4 little parts for October, or September, October, November, December. Oh yeah, August hasn't come out yet. Sorry, this is July. I'm like, huh? The math ain't mathin'. So this was June's that I just put in. And we got this big greenhouse over here, which I haven't put in the words that say stitch yet because I'm gonna wait till I finish the greenhouse. I love that she put a big greenhouse in here. The flag shop, I went ahead and outlined the windows in blue. I thought that would be fun. It was called for black. This is using none of the called for flosses because it's all called for DMC, and I just kitted it up totally from stash with all overdyed cottons. So this one down here is the post, and what does that say? 1789 is the date she put on there. So this has been so fun. I was thinking today, I was like, man, when this sal is over, I just don't know what we're gonna be stitching on all the time from Teresa, which she released 3 awesome patterns to her Patreon this week. I'm gonna pop them up right here so you can see. But was it this week? Yeah, she releases them on the 1st of every month. And then the hometown sal, you get a new pattern, new part if you're in tier 4 on the 15th of every month. So anyway, I was thinking that she probably has a full nether sal up her sleeve ready to go for January. That's what I was thinking. So I'll be excited to see what she has planned. But this is a huge piece. It's been so much fun. 2-year sal. And this is 32 count Lugana that I over dyed just with more of a solid dye, and then I'm doing 1/2. So here's this times part again, what I just did down there. So that one's kind of like a finish for now every time I share it, but I really do need to catch up. But I'm not going to catch up this month because I'm going to be busy with the Big Brother stitching, which I'm having so much fun. Another whip that I stitched on the 21st of each month, I stitch on this project, which is Fraktur Flowers from Barrick. And it looks like this. And this has been slow going, but that's okay. Because I only stitch on it for like an hour every month, an hour or 2. That's probably about the most amount of stitching that I get in a day is an hour or 2. So, what did I even do? I was working on the flowers. I was getting the flowers filled out. I got this leaf all the way done, and then I think it was just mostly working in here and in here. So just really filling those out. Maybe next time I'll finally get that little missing piece in that leaf. This is with half of the called for MPIs, just like if I had it already, and then I kitted the rest up from stash. So this is a piece of linen that I dyed. It's 40 count, so I'm doing 1/2. And I just really love this piece. It's really beautiful, and Honor picked that one for me to stitch on the 21st of every month. The 21st is her birthday. So on that day of the month, I stitch on this. I did not stitch on my Joy stocking this month because I was stitching Big Brother. So yeah, that's okay. On the 25th, I got out my Mirabilia, which is Mary Mary, and Heidi and I were gonna get out our Mirabilias together, but I don't think ended up happening for her. She's doing the Snow Queen, and I'm doing Mary Mary. So this time I put in, this is on Evergreen from Moonshine Stitchery. It's 32 count, and I was working in this Krynic this time, which was very fun. This pattern calls for 2 Krynics, and I only have 1 of them. The second one needs like 2 full skeins of it, and I still need to source that. So I was working on the arm, so here's the end of the sleeve. And then I put some more into some of these baubles. and then here, and then did the Krynic. So I really, really love this piece. The colors are just fantastic. There are, I think, 2 Karen water lilies. One is this corally red, pink, orange, kind of sunset. And the other one is the lighter green here. And then the rest is DMCs, and then there's Krynic. So you can't really hardly tell what it is, but I put up on the screen the pattern so you can see and follow. Like, this is the neckline with where the Krynic sparkles right by her face. So I love it so much. If you want to stitch Mary Mary on this linen, I do have more 32 count in this evergreen color on my website. Everything I share today is going to be linked down below if it has a link. All of the Flosstube channels. Oh my gosh, you probably already watched it, but Hollis Hands Create, Christine has a patriotic parade where she shows like a ton of patterns that all have 1776 in them. Go watch it if you're thinking about stitching for the sesquicentennial. I don't know, I can't say it. It's a different word than that, right? But similar to that, you know what I'm talking about. For the 250th anniversary of our country. Go check that out. Her video was fantastic. It was just, there were so many videos this last couple weeks that I just was like gobbling up everything. It was a wealth of beautiful stitching. So anyway, that was on the 25th. And then the last WIP I pulled before I watched Jessie Murray's video is And God Saw from Teresa Kogut. This is one of my 3 stitch alongs that I have going with Laurel, I Am a Stitch Nerd, and Jan, Hoop It Up with Jan. We have our 3rd one planned to start this Thanksgiving. So this is the 2nd one. This is And God Saw. And I had just been looking through my WIPs the other day, and I was looking at how delicious this is, and just like, okay, I'm definitely getting this out this week. So I did. I put in the whole birdie, and then I brought this down, and this checkerboard is starting going across, and then I did this big flower and pulled this over some more. So yeah, that's what I worked on, and I feel like this is probably like 3 hours. It's just really dense stitching. This is on 40 count. This is on Harbor from Moonshine Stitchery, and so I'm doing 1/2, and it is none of the called for, probably. So basically, whenever I have something that I'm going to kit up, I look and see if I already have any of the called for flosses, and if I don't, so whatever I have, I put in the kit, and then whatever I don't, I go off of the DMC list. Oh, by the way, on my nails today, this is all Moonshine Manny. That's my nail polish brand. This is our recent Facebook group custom, and it's over here too. But I just am wearing a bunch of different colors in case you're wondering. That's always linked down below as well. So 2/1 on 40 count, and I love that little bird. And this is a bee. Look at that bee. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. So yes, I need to get a lot more work on that done because I really, really want to. And Jan and Laurel and I were starting Serenity from Teresa Kogut, and Jan and Laurel, if you watch this video, I dyed up the fabric that we're going to use for that project over this last week. And I also did a huge restock at Moonshine Stitchery in the 40 and 46 counts for a lot of the colors. So if you are looking for more linen, there's, you know, almost everything has been restocked over there. So if you want to go snag some more linen. But I took the opportunity to also dye the special fabric, Laurel and Jan, that we're going to use for this. And so if you want to start with us, if you haven't started a T-Cog or you need a reason to start another Teresa Kogut, we're starting that not till Thanksgiving. So you have a while to prepare. But I've got mine all kitted up. Hold on. All the skeins were just sitting over there. So I needed to pull them together and put them away anyway. So yeah, we just had, it's just really yummy neutrals, and then some delicious greens, but then green and this coral together, like a rusty coral. So there was a bunch of skeins called for, so these aren't like a million different flosses, there's a bunch of the same. But it's gonna be so, so yummy. Whoops. And then some of these flosses are things that I pulled instead of the DMC. So she has like half and half DMC and overdyed, and I just went ahead and converted it all when I was at Linds of Madison. So that's the color palette for Serenity. Whoop. Very excited. Thanksgiving planned start. Okay, so we are gonna move into the Big Brother WIPS. So I'm gonna put a big collage up here of all the WIPS that were the things that I pulled for this game. So as we go along, I will put like some kind of thing that shows when somebody's been evicted, which means that they're no longer going to be in the game for me. I'm not going to tell you who corresponds to which WIP because I don't want to give away any spoilers. Like, for example, if you watch my video this week and you haven't watched the eviction episode from this last week, then that would spoil for you who's going to go home. And I just really don't like spoilers in any books or shows or anything, so I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So I'm going to show you the WIPs. You'll see who's gone home, or you'll see which WIP goes home based upon who it shows as evicted, but I won't tell you who I've assigned to each one. So first, I'm just going to kind of, so there's all those, and then now I'm going to show you the individual work that I've gotten done on the projects that got pulled. And what I did was I had them in a list and I just went alphabetically through the people's names, so they are totally randomly assigned. There was no like, oh, I think this person's gonna be around a long time, let me put one of my favorite WIPs to it so that I get a lot of stitching done. Nothing like that, because I just let it fall as it may. So first up we have Scarlet House Smith Sampler. And I'm going to talk about this one first because this is the end of my strand that I need to finish. And then this person went home this week. So Scarlet Sampler is not going to get any more work done on it, sadly. This is a piece of fabric that I dyed eons ago. I would say this is similar to beach, but it has a little bit more ruddiness than beach, from Moonshine Stitchery. So this is new. This whole swan, this and this is new. But other than that, like, that's all I really got done on it. So Jessie Marie's game, when somebody gets evicted, you're supposed to stitch, I think, 500 crosses. And that's going to be technically like 10 strands of floss for me, and that will probably be too much. It'll probably be more than I can do, considering that like there's a new video almost every third day of the week for this show. So it's a lot of required stitching. If you're able to follow with her exactly how she's done it, that's amazing. I probably will not be. So I'm not gonna feel bad about it regardless, but I'm aiming for just 2 strands. So like so you have to stitch when somebody's made the HOH, which is their head of the household. You stitch if they get nominated, you stitch if they win a competition, and then you stitch if they come off the block, you stitch if they go home. And then the person that's the HOH, you stitch 100 strands a day that they're HOH, which is 700, sorry, not 700 strands, 700 stitches. It's just not realistic for me. So if I see that somebody's name comes up on my to stitch, I'm going to put in 2 strands. If I can do more than that, great. If I can't, then that's all I'm going to do. So anyway, here's this. Unfortunately, the Smith Sampler will be retiring from the WIP basket, but at least it got some stitches for 2025, and I love this project. This is being stitched with the Vicki Clayton conversion, and I'm stitching this with Heidi. Although, I can't even remember right now, Heidi, if you ever started this. But I know that we intended to stitch this together. I know Sarah Stitchy Spot is also stitching this. And so yeah, I outlined the swan. I was filling her in. I got the water, the blue, and the, well, it's not really blue. It's like a gray teal. It's barely blue, that color that she used. But the colors are so pretty. It's a super, super colorful sampler if you're looking for one, and just incredibly quirky. So yes, this is 40 count, so 1/2, and I will finish up this strand and then I will put the Smith Sampler away. Oops, I forgot to talk about my 2 strands a day stitching. So here is where my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow is now. This, I stitch on it 2 strands every single day. This is from Carriage House Samplings, and this one This one is the current block that I'm working on. So this, if you remember from last video, here's what I've gotten done. Putting just 2 strands in every day. So I was telling Heidi and Michael today, Michael is Davis Quilting Stitching on Flosstube. I just realized today when I got this out that that is not his neck. I was like, what is this crazy neck going on this jack-o'-lantern guy? No, that's an arm. So it's an arm holding the flag, an arm holding the head. This is where the head is supposed to be. But this whole time I've just been like, that's a very strange design for this neck. Like, that's just what is going on here. Duh. It's supposed to be, he's holding the head, just like the story. So, silly me. I've almost got that whole moon in. It is so beautiful and fun. This down here is actually Pea Pod from Gentle Art, or is it no, maybe that's Classic Color. Anyway, I don't know. I didn't have 730 and I didn't feel like going to Hobby Lobby, so I just pulled in Pea Pod, which is similar. So that, there's gonna be a bunch of words in here, but all around the words is gonna be some variegated floss, but the rest of it is the Call for DMC. So this is 40 count, it's just plain 40 count flax from Zweigart. And that's where my progress is gotten to. So far where we're at in the game, 3 people have gone home. They've been evicted. So, the Smith sampler is no longer going to be in the runnings to win the whole show, slash get the most stitches in it. And this is another person that got sent home. So this is my autumn sampler. This is a kit from Marejka. This is just really, really beautiful. The colors, I just love a blueberry purple. It's just probably my favorite color of life, is any kind of version of indigo. I love. So, this kit is so confetti heavy. This is really hard for me to tell how many stitches I did on it, but the person went home, so I was supposed to put 500 stitches in. So I did my best with counting, since you can't really put in a full strand because you're just bopping everywhere. So anyway, I did kind of try to fully complete this top portion and fill in what was missing. There's still a few things missing, and I also had to pull out a bunch of stuff that I realized I'd done a blended floss wrong. This is just the kit, probably 14 count Ada or 16 count Ada. So I just kind of was filling in more of what was missing and then pulling this down more. So yeah, it's probably pretty hard to tell what I did here, but I did approximately 500 stitches on this. And in fact, it got a little bit more because that person got nominated a couple times before they were evicted. And then the person that got evicted that very first week didn't get any stitches from me because Jessie Marie started this game after that had already happened. So I actually didn't even start till the day that this person went home. So I had a bunch of catch up to do already anyway. So I've been just playing catch up with a lot of these things. So goodbye, autumn sampler, but I was happy to get some more stitches on that. Okay, this person has been in play a lot so far in the game. They just have been nominated a lot, and so here is my Paisley pumpkin from Rosewood Manor. And this is stitched, it's 40 count, it's using the Call for DMCs, and it is 1/2, and this is some Moonshine Stitchery fabric. So what did I do in all of the times that the person's been nominated? So I needed to do 2 strands basically for every time, and it's been a lot of times. So most of these letters on the top are all new, and then I was working in the vining too. So I would say that that's probably like 10 strands of floss went into all this top part. So, yep. They've been nominated a lot, they've been winning a lot of competitions, so Paisley Pumpkin from Rosewood Manor has gotten a lot of work done on it. So, and that's great. This project's just so beautiful. It is very confetti heavy because it pops around between a lot of colors that are put really closely together for that beautiful contrast. I mean, just this leaf here, right there. Those colors are just everything. So, yeah. Anyway, I really love it, and this will probably get a lot more work done on it because the person seems to be a bit of a target. So, I'm sure you will see more on that in the next video, I betcha. This next project in my game, this person one head of household at some point, and so I needed to do 100 stitches for them every day. And so for a total of like 700 stitches, I probably put in like 450 is my best guess. So all I did was this line here. This is with the call for DMCs. Hands Across the Sea with DMC is just perfection. And so that's all I did. I just put in these upside down or right side up buns of buns. Anyway, so this was easy stitching for that because it followed the same pattern all the way across, and so I didn't have to think a lot about it. So, but this person is still around, so you will see this again. But that was some head of household stitching. This is Memories of the Past. Did I say that yet? Oh, and this is stitched on a piece of fabric that Heidi dyed for me. Heidi from WIPS and Kits. She coffee tea dyed this awesome linen. This is a 40 count, yeah. 40 count fat quarter from Heidi. Okay, this project I love, but this whip needs to get done. So this is a Modern Folk embroidery. This is Cold Sea Sampler. I started this along with Jacob for his black sampler November, like 3 Novembers ago or more maybe, I don't even know. So Cold Sea Sampler. I'm using Weeks mascara. This is on Be Stitch Me Whimsical, I think. And it's a 40 count and I just love it. This is so, so, so fun to stitch on. So the person that I assigned this project to has been nominated again a lot and has been winning a lot of competitions. So they are showing up a lot and it has been really fun. So the first couple times that they were up there, I was working in here. This is all new. And then the next couple times I have been working on this alphabet, which it is such a cool alphabet. It is so neat looking. I just love, love, love Jacob's designs. So it goes K, L through M. So I'm just missing the A, and then I'll do the second alphabet. And then I think that there's only like this much more. So it's not a big sampler. So that's what I'm saying. It's not huge. It just needs to get done, and I love it, and I'm excited to have it up on my wall. And yeah, so that is Cold Sea Sampler from Modern Folk Embroidery, and I'm sure you will see this some more next time. Speaking of Jacob, I forgot to talk about my Whip into Shape project before I got into the Big Brother game projects. So this is my Whip into Shape #Sal project that I'm working on. As Andrew the runner stitcher gets ready for his next big marathon, I'm stitching along with him. So the number of miles that he runs each week, I times by 10. He has a spot for it up on his Instagram where you can just go check. I check every Saturday and then I put those number of stitches in. So this time I needed to put in 7 full strands of floss. So all those 7 strands are right in here. That's 7 strands of floss. So 350 stitches. I'm using Gentle Art, Deep Sea, and Carriage Black. And this was fun. We were watching Futurama while I was stitching this. So I filled in that, filling in here, and then completed this whole triangle except for that tiny little smidge right there. So this is 40 count, some fabric that I dyed that I thought would be a fun complement to the flosses, and I am really, really enjoying this. Whoops! I'm gonna put up a side-by-side so you can see where I've gotten to, like how far I've come right now. So yes, I'm making awesome progress on this. Thank you, Andrew. And I just don't want to stop. So maybe you can just train forever. Does that sound good? Just kidding. Oh, I'm so excited for you. The relief that you're gonna have and the sense of accomplishment when you've finished, and it's just amazing. And I'm so happy that I took part in this this time that you did this for your training. Okay, this person got they got nominated a few times in the Big Brother game. So this is Village Bakery. This is my one current Mill Hill whip, but I have a number of Halloween ones that I want to start. But this is part of the Christmas series. And I am really enjoying this stitch. So my issue with this, if you remember last time, was that there are supposed to be 3 colors of blue-green in this kit. and I can't tell the difference between medium and dark. And so I got kind of frustrated when I realized that I might have mixed up these two colors. Don't those look the same to you? They look the same to me. And so I was like, I don't want to pull out. Maybe I can just leave it as is, and it doesn't really matter between the medium dark and the dark blue green, and I'll just put in what I want. And that's what I decided to do. So this time I put in this guy. Also, these are all, it's called for 3 strands for every stitch. And so I get much less stitches off of 1 strand of floss. So like taking 1 long strand of floss and then tripling it up. So can't do the loop start. I only get like 35 stitches instead of 58-ish that I get with my regular strand when I'm doing a loop start or 1 strand. So anyway, I had to do more to get the 100 stitches, but so I was working in this yummy buttery shade here, and then the white, and some more in here. And I was gonna start beading because actually a lot of the chart is beading, but I can't find my beading needle, so I'm gonna need to probably go pick one up or look more through my mess of stuff. But yeah, so when this person comes out again, I think you will see some beads on this next time. So this has been fun. Okay, this is, I think, the last person that has done anything in the game. The rest of the projects that you saw in that original, here, let me just pop it again. Here's the collage of all of my 16 projects. Everything else besides this last one, they haven't basically done anything on the show. So, yeah, here's the last person. So, this is Dutch Beauty by Permin of Copenhagen. And what did I do this time? I think, was I just working on border? Let me look at this. Yeah. Yeah, all I was doing was working on border. So I think I only put in like it was either 200 or 400 stitches on the, I don't even know. I think 200. So it's just 200 of this top border, but I'm sure this person will be coming out again very soon. This is with none of the called for DMC, I don't think. I think it's all Kit Up from Stash. So this is just a huge BAP, and I love it. Who knows if it'll ever get done, but it's gonna be like, it's like, I feel like this project is like hieroglyphics on a cave wall. There's just so much going on, all these beautiful little motifs. It feels very primitive, and it's just really fun. And it's kind of like, this may take me 20 years, like carving hieroglyphics on a wall. This is my cave person stitch. So, and I really like it. So that's what I have to say about that. This is 20 count piece of linen that I over dyed. This is similar to Liberty, actually. I dyed this way before I dyed Liberty, intentionally for patriotic stitches, but it does have washes of this gray blue and washes of red. So anyway, this is the actual bed sheet. Wow, and that's only half of the size, so yes. Just cross your fingers that this person comes out again, but I think, if I'm remembering right, this is my least favorite cast member. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, these next projects, we're just gonna go through quickly because I haven't done anything new on them, but they are coming up in the game. They will get at least something on them, because even if they do nothing else besides get nominated and immediately voted out, they're still gonna get progress. So this is Hannah Sanderson by GGR, right? GGR? Anyway, you can see I was working on the words last time. So there's that one, not GGR, that's Dutch Street Designs. Next, this is my one and only current long dog. I do have a number of them purchased, but I don't want to start any others till I finish the one. And this never comes out, so I'm just never getting work on it, but it will now, thanks to Jessie Marie's fun game. So this is Sneak from Long Dog. I have now learned that I wouldn't do another Long Dog monochromatically with a highly variegated silk, but it's still fun. So, like, especially that, it looks so cool. So it does look really interesting when you're up close. It's just from far away, it's not gonna read, but that's okay. It's really fun. And this is intense stitching. When I'm stitching it, I have to count so careful. So This is making me think of the Robin, Little Robin Designs, where she has the patterns where it is different colors. Or October Fiber House also does that, I think. No, Summer Stitch Works. Anyway. All right, Autumn Cloche is in this game from Hello from Liz Matthews. So I will be getting out this lovely, we're using all MPIs, all the called for very soon. We'll get some more progress on this delicious lady. I just love the concept of this design so much. It just has to come out. Another as yet untouched project in 2025 is this Happy Morning from Plum Street Samplers. Here's where I'm at on it. I'm stitching this with Heidi from Whips and Kits. She recently got this whole barn done. It's so awesome. So, and this is on a piece of blue fabric that I overdyed years and years ago. Yeah, this project is really striking. So, I think it's like it's just a little bit intimidating because it has such big spaces of fill-in. Like even these trees, it's a ton of fill-in on those trees. So, anyway, this is gonna come out. This next one you probably forgot I even had as a whip because it basically got a start. It came out one time after that and then it hasn't come out ever again. This is Jane Cowie from the Scarlet house. And it's so beautiful, but like I haven't stitched on it at all because it has never gotten rolled. And this is on a piece of fabric that I really, really like, that I overdyed. And so, this is assigned one of the players, so it will get some stitching. And that one is using all the called for, it's MPIs, all the yummy MPIs, so I need to get out and paint with those. Okay, this is Let Love Rain from Teresa Kogut. She is also in the game, so I feel like I'd stitched on this recently, but I think what it was, oh wait, no, this person came out. This person came out for like a day already, because I put in the words your heart, I think. So yeah. So this has already been played, just a teeny bit in the game. So that's fun. This is on 46 count, overdyed by me, and pretty much probably none of the call for flosses. Hey, hey! Can you figure out what this is? Oh, spoiler. Peacock Unicorn Badger is in this game, and I'm so excited about it. This is one of my favorite whips that I have, and I love seeing all of you who are stitching on this. Kim, the Contented Needleworker, Jody from Trixie Tricycle. I think Heidi started this, Whips and Kits, and there are so many more of you who are stitching it, and every time you guys show it, I'm just so inspired and I love it so much. So I dyed this linen so that I wouldn't need to do and I love this color. I need to get this color up on the website. Anyway, this is warmer than evergreen, but you could probably also do it on evergreen. So this is all the called for DMCs, just a really gorgeous saturated punch of color. And it's designed so beautifully. Oh, I love it so much. So yeah, but I haven't got it out in a while, so now it's coming back out. So love that one. Scarlet Letter. Just two more. So this one is Oh Holy Night from Stony Creek. I'm marking this one with highlighter. So I have a few highlighter projects. My Mirabilia, this one, and I can't think of it. There's another one. It's so tedious doing the highlighter method, but with like Dimensions Gold-esque projects, it's so hard for me to figure out where I am in the designs. I have to highlight. So yeah, this one hasn't come out at all this year, apparently, according to my journal. Apparently. So we're gonna get some progress on this lovely, I love this design so much. So that's a 40 count that I overdyed for this one. Nope, this one isn't a dye by me. This is a dye by Atomic Ranch. And so it's actually really, really tight. That's the other thing that's with this. This is tight, and so even on 40 count, the one strand of DMC is kind of hard to fit into the holes, so, but I really love it. My last project is my needlepoint. I threw my needlepoint in here, that's upside down, but if I turn it upside down, all that stuff will fall out. This is Lavender Fields, and it's a mandala, so that looks the same up or down. Whoops. Okay, so here's where I was at in my needlepoint. I picked this up at the Witchy Stitcher last summer when I went out to go visit Heidi, and I haven't picked this up all year apparently. So this one's gonna get some more work on it too, so it's not technically cross stitch, but it is needlework and I wanna get some progress on it, so I put it in the game. That is all of the plans because I'm gonna be too busy doing this to do any of my daily stitching except for one thing. On the 7th, Heidi and Michael and I will be starting this year's birthday stitch, which gets stitched on the 7th of every month. So I will be not neglecting that specific day stitch. So Heidi and Michael picked up this project for me. Jeanette Douglas is my favorite designer. I've done a number of these in the past. You guys know, I talked about this last week. So they got me this lilac 32 count plain white chelt that we're gonna stitch it on, and then Heidi got me the specialty pack for all of the Glorianas that I need. There's Gloriana and there's Access Commodities, and there's some Belle Soie in there. Oh, and I'm very, very, very excited. So I need to get these on a little floss card. And so I will be starting this on the 7th. If you want to do my birthday stitch with me this year, stitch something Jeanette Douglas, started on the 7th, or you can try to start this one. I didn't have this one yet, and I have most of the projects in this series. I didn't have this one yet, and it's purple! So, very excited. So that's my other plan. So I'm not gonna draw any random projects with you today because I have plenty to stitch on when I am trying to find something to stitch. So I will move directly into haul. I picked up this Mirabilia. This is Portrait of Lady M. I just felt I needed to have her. I just needed it. She's not gonna go on that color fabric. She needs to stand out from it, and that color is too similar to all the gold in her hair and the top of her dress. So there's that one. She's only DMC and then Kreinik and the beads. She doesn't have any specialty flosses. Interesting. I also got Summer Sailing with Mr. Robin. Ah, he's so cute. I love her designs. They are impactful and yet simple, but there's a deceivingly large amount of stitches. So yeah, or big number of stitches. I don't know, anyway. And then I grabbed the number 3 and 4 from Summer House Stitchworks of the Fragments in Time Halloween edition. So now I have all 4 pieces, so I could officially start it if I wanted to. They go like all together. You can see that the next one starts right above this one. So now I have all 4. No imminent plans to start those, but so we have our cat, and we have the spooky tree with the ravens. I haven't showed in a while the patterns that I've been getting monthly from the Primitive Hair stitch along this year. It's about keeping Christmas in your heart all year round. Here's all the patterns that I have gotten so far. I started the first 2, and I intended to start all of them as I got them to just like get them started, but I stopped after the first 2. But here's what's been released so far this year. So I think that means we have 6 of them. 7 of them. So that's been really fun. And then I have some digital purchases that I made. I was really hoping to snag that new Jet X stitch with all the blue tones. But it's not coming out till Marketplace, and I can't get it as PDF till like October. So I really wanted to pick that one up this week. I was on Etsy and picked up a few things from Tidy Stitches. This one is MDL121, but I put it in I saved it as the Poppy Mandala. And it's just so beautiful. I love all these colors. And it is, yeah, tidy patterns. Sorry, not tidy stitches, tidy patterns. They're in the UK, it looks like. And I got this from Etsy. And again, no immediate plans. There's all DMC. But I love poppies. I'm from California, and I just have always loved poppies. Then while I was also on her website, or their website, I picked up this raccoon because Honor's current favorite animal is a raccoon. She wants to own one, which is a hard no, but I just thought this was really cute. It reminded me of her, and the patterns were only $5, so I grabbed them. I also grabbed the Summer Gothic sampler from the House of Cam. I'm just taking a stroll through my patterns. I'll put it up here so you can see better. She just recently released, I think this is her 3rd design. She has her 4th one coming out soon. And I wanted to support her, and I will not be doing the teeth in my berry bowl, but I think that this is really sweet. It looks gorgeous on that color, and I wanted to support her and encourage her to design more. So I don't have any plans to start this immediately, but I did think it was adorable, and I thought she did a super great job. So that's that. When I was picking up the Witch's Hollow from Autumn Lane, I also picked up The Apprentice, which is just, I'll put it up on the screen, but oh my gosh, it's this squirrel with the witch's hat, or a chipmunk. Is it a chipmunk or a squirrel? I don't know, but it is so adorable, and the mushrooms, and I just couldn't resist. It is so cute. Let me see what she's showing that she's stitching this on. Middle Earth from Be Stitch Me. It's so good. It's really beautiful, brown with greens and browns. So I picked up that one, and then I also got a Spooky Flight, which is this hilarious, I think there's a female and a male on the website, but it's this witch lady on her broom, but she's a jack-o'-lantern, and it is so cute. So I couldn't resist. Could not resist. Oh, I guess I got 4 from Autumn Lane, because I also picked up Tonight We Ride, and that looks like this. So really cute. I picked up the Midsommar sampler maybe I showed you guys this a couple weeks ago when I picked up the Cloud of Sweetness. I also grabbed this because I'm trying to decide what my next heirloom stitch is going to be, and this is a contender, so thinking about that. And I feel like there were a few others, but we'll just leave it there. So that is all of my haul acquisitions, and that's pretty much all the stitchy talk. So I'm just finally at the end going to talk a little bit about books, but mostly I've been watching Flosstube, and I finished the Grant County series from Karen Slaughter. Here are the last 2 books. I finished them, so you kind of like wrap up the story happening there, and then they move from like the town, the county sheriff, and everything that's happening there, and then you move on to the Will Trent story, which I read all the Will Trents before I read about Sarah Linton's, like more of her origin story. And so as soon as I finished those, because I was so curious, because there's a really important person in that side of her world that dies, and I didn't know how that happened and like the backstory with that, so I needed to know that. So now that I've known that, I went back and I restarted the Will Trent books, because I really enjoy, he's one of my favorite main characters in any book series. He's been through a lot of trauma, and he's just attempts to just be the best person that he can be. I mean, obviously nobody's perfect, but he just attempts to do no harm, and he has a lot of challenges with his dyslexia and different traumas that he's had, and he's a good example of not giving up and just trying to do good. So anyway, I started rereading those. I finished up the latest Sanderson book. It's called Isles of the Ember Dark. I don't think I had finished it when I last filmed, but it was really cute. I gave it a 5. It's a standalone currently, and it takes place like way in the future from his other books in the Cosmere. and there's a ton of Easter eggs, and it was just a really, really fun read. We have dragons, we have this found family ship, a spaceship with all these different peoples on it, and everybody appreciating each other for their individuality and not being bigoted and working together to save other people. And then there's this other group of people, and it's just reading about good stuff. Yeah. And it's adventure, and there's humor, and it's a good time. So I really liked that. And then if you've read all the other books, you're getting a lot of Easter eggs, like I said. And then the last thing, I just barely started The Time Traveler's Wife. I had never read this before, and I noticed that I have it available to me to read for free currently with my Audible membership through the 12th. So if you want to read that with me, if you've never read it, that is my current read. If you want to start it, it looks like I have 9 hours left. This is by Audrey Niffenegger, I guess. And I know this has been made into a movie. I haven't seen the movie, so I actually don't know what's going to happen, but you just get a very foreboding sense of that this is going to have a very sad ending. But no spoilers. Don't tell me anything. Like I said, I don't like spoilers, but I don't know how this ends. But I don't think it's going to end well. But anyway, so there's this man that time travels, and it doesn't seem that he can control it at all. And he just disappears from his current surroundings and travels always in the buff to some other place. And it seems that he can go find his wife through time and like spend time with her at all of her different ages that she's at. But it's written in a way where you're getting his time traveling, but then you're also getting their story together, like when they finally met up when they're the same age, and and she's not just being visited by him, like he's actually there at her time when he's not traveling. So anyway, it was a little confusing for me at first, but I think I've got the hang of it now, and I am enjoying it. So, and it's funny. I mean, it's not haha funny, but it's cute, and it's very sensitive and also sad. So anyway, I think that's going to be it. So I really appreciate you joining me today, and I hope that you've had lots of stitchy time. I feel like there were a lot of other things that I wanted to mention today, but I don't ever take down notes. But I feel like there were a ton of YouTube videos I want to talk about. Andrew's Whip Parade, Andrew the Runner Stitcher. I loved that so much. He had his partner, whose name is also Andrew, rank his whips, and that was so much fun. So definitely go watch that. And I saw that Tyler Willett Stitch has a new episode out. He always has, like, everything he's stitching on, I want to stitch on it. So I loved that video as well. Of course, I'm caught up with all of my usuals. Carol and Kim and Sean's latest video, whoa, just blew my mind. I need a new video from Lizzie. Hopefully she has one coming out soon, Lizzie the Stitcher. But Lisa Kindred Stitcher, I'm all caught up with you, Lisa. And Heidi and Michael. Michael had a new video out where he has so much stitching accomplished. It's just wow. So you guys are all just so inspiring to me, and I love watching your content and seeing what you're stitching on and having this be a community hobby for me rather than a solitary one. It has been such a pleasure of the last 3 to 4 years of my life to really feel part of a community with my stitching, as opposed to how it always was just me before. So thanks for stopping by today. If you aren't yet subscribed, I would love it if you did. And let me know in the comments below what your favorite stitch of the week was. If you have a favorite show or a favorite book that you've been reading, I would love to know about that too. And I will see you back in 2 weeks for my next update. Take care until then. Bye.